We're still off air. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. This is me time, your time, and it's Adrian Marks and the lovely Marina Nani at Radio Works World. And today I'm talking to you from La Bella Roma. And I tell you what, it really is the most beautiful, amazing city in the world. And I think that's really what I want to talk to you about traveling and about opening your heart to new experiences, because in the end, that's all it is. A friend of mine, my lovely traveling companion that I'm with here in Rome, had said to me today that she saw something which said, you want to be having your memories, not dreams, because life is too short. So you need to build memories. And the way to do that is to travel and to do what makes your heart sing, because that's what's really important. As I say, I'm in Rome and I was in Cyprus, as you know, a couple of weeks ago. And seeing the world. We have spent 2 days here and we've had the most incredible time, and not done the tour. We've done a bit of touristy stuff, but mainly just sort of wandering and taking pictures of these incredible buildings and just feeling this incredible city. And it's what you open your heart to. It's because that's what's so important. And it doesn't matter whether you're 18 or 80. Life is life is for living. I keep saying this. And it's so important to give yourself the the gift of me time, of time when it's time for you, not when you're looking after somebody else, when you're looking after your boss or your co-workers, your spouse, your children, your parents, whoever it is, but looking after yourself, saying, what do I really want? What do I really need in my life? What makes me feel good? Looking after yourself. And that's very, very basic stuff. It's the thing that we don't do enough of. We don't look after ourselves. We don't listen to our bodies. If you're tired, you need to sleep. If you're hungry, you need to eat the right foods. Feed your body, feed your mind too. Read good stuff, read the right things, but no, not just the right things. Enjoy what you're reading. So you don't have to be all the time reading self-help books or personal development books or books to advance your career, but stuff that's going to make you laugh, make you feel good. And that's what it's about, making yourself feel good. Because I tell you what, and I know I've said this before, when you feel good, then you've got more to give. Your inner resources build up. Because when you're not feeling well, you're like a battery and you can only go on for so long. Even if you are a Duracell, you can just go on and on and on. But eventually you're going to run out of juice. And you have to say, what do I need to keep myself going? I need to build up my inner resources. I need to take some me time. And that's really important. And whether it's a short trip on a holiday, whether it's 5 minutes just breathing during your day when you just hide away in your room, in your office, in your bedroom, in the bathroom, wherever you can get 5 minutes, and just breathe, just take in a deep breath and think, what am I doing? What am I doing now? What do I need? And listen to your body, listen to what it says. Does it say, do you know, I need to rest this evening? I'm not going to rush out. I'm going to sit and I'm just going to breathe. Or I'm going to watch something silly on television. I'm going to watch some silly program. I'm just going to make myself feel good. And that's fine. You don't have to feel guilty about it. Just give yourself some me time, because it is so important. Because until you give yourself me time, and generous me time, you cannot possibly give to anybody else. It's not possible. You cannot do it. I've said this so many times before. You have to be aware of what you need so that you can give to others. Because if you're depleted, if you're not well, if you run yourself ragged, looking after other people, feeding other people, running their errands, being their chauffeur if you've got young children, looking after them all the time, and there's no me time, then you're going to run out of juice. Your battery's going to run down. You're not going to have anything to make yourself feel good. And then you're going to begrudge your time giving to them. Oh, I don't want to do that. Why should I do that? All I do all the time is cook for them, make them feel good. What about me? When is it me time? When is it my time? And so you have to do that and say, do you know what? You get a pizza tonight. You get some takeaway. You look after yourselves. I'm going to go into the bathroom. I'm going to put some candles and I'm going to have a bath and I'm just going to look after myself. And I'm going to read 50 Shades of Grey or whatever it is I want to do. I'm just going to look after myself. Or I'm going to go out with some friends and just laugh. I tell you what, the last 2 days I have been with this awesome friend and we have laughed so much. And it's so good for you. They say that laughter is the best medicine, and it is. Don't take yourself seriously because life is too short. Just enjoy yourself. Make a joke of it. I think it was Louise Hay that said, if you saw your life on a stage as a play, you would laugh at it and think, why am I being so dramatic? We have to take a step back and realize that we need to be real and not take ourselves so seriously, because it doesn't matter whether you take it seriously or not, it's over anyway. So enjoy it, enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. What is it they say? Wake up and smell the coffee, and do that. We've been having this amazing time in Rome and walking down these little streets where there are wonderful restaurants and shops, and just taking pictures and just filling this awesomeness of this wonderful city, and just feeling that it's so good to be part of it and being alive and enjoying it and saying, and if you can't get away, then it doesn't matter. What about your town where you live? Is there somewhere nice you can go, a nice restaurant that you can go to, or somewhere nice you can go to with a friend, a spa hotel perhaps? You can go and just have a swim or a jacuzzi and just look after yourself. Get your nails done, get your hair done, make yourself feel good. Just go for a long walk. The weather's getting nicer now, and you can enjoy that. Talk to people that make you feel good. Don't spend time with people who don't make you feel good. Those sort of people are, they're what I call vacuums, and they suck the life out of you. Don't hang around with people like that. Negative people make you feel negative. And if you can't make them feel good, don't spend time with them. And unfortunately, if they're um, people that you might be married to, or children or relations, then unfortunately, you either have to spend as little time as possible with them. Maybe they'll actually see what you're doing and see it as an example, a great example, and they'll say, oh my God, I want what she's on. I want to do what she's doing. And they'll come and join you. But sometimes, sometimes they don't. They're so stuck in their own story. And you have to put up your hand and you have to say, do you know what? That's okay for you, but it's not good for me. I don't want to do that anymore. I want more from my life. So this is what I'm going to do. And you have to do it for your own sanity, for your own love, for your own life. You need your me time, and you need to be good to yourself, because in the end, nobody else is going to do it. Somebody said to me a while ago when I was talking about something, and they said, well, you've got to ask yourself sometimes, when people are especially in a job, and they feel a a loyalty to their boss, even if it's not what really makes their hearts sing, but they do it and, they quite enjoy it and they like the people they work with and maybe like their boss, whatever. And they feel this loyalty because, as any decent person would, then perhaps they feel, oh, they couldn't really do anything like leave or do anything out else. And this person said to me, but at the end of the day, would they pay for your funeral? And I went, oh my God, that's really interesting. And no, of course they won't. Of course they won't. And that's when you realize that life is too short and you have to make your memories now, because you don't want to be laying on your deathbed thinking, if only I did this, if only I did that. Life is too short to have regrets. And you do only regret thing in life you don't do. So you have to take your me time. You have to look after yourself. And then you can look after other people. Because when you don't look after yourself, you have no inner resources and you can't do that. What do you think, Marina?
Well, I'm so excited to listen to you. Each time I'm thinking, wow, me time is sort of a magic moment. And what is magic about is not only that you create the moment for yourself. You don't need to ask permission. You don't need any validation. You don't need a certificate. You don't need to read another book about somebody else. It's all about meeting yourself and being um, at peace with that, being at peace
Yes.
with who you are. And
Hmm.
right now you are in Rome and you sound so great, and I feel your vibrations from wherever other people are in the world, our listeners. I'm sure they feel the same. It's so much happiness about you, coming from you, within you. And I don't know, is this because you are in Rome, and is a city built on seven hills, and um, what other cities are going to visit and uh, broadcast from there? You
Who
know,
knows? Who knows?
I was thinking that when I left home, I went on a 1,000 day journey. I was hovering the planet for big ideas, and at first I was thinking to go and check all the cities where the city was built on seven hills, like Rome is.
Hmm.
But there are so many. I couldn't possibly go through all of that in 1,000 days. I think I need the rest of my life. But I always feel that in Rome, it's something very special about those little streets and the people who are always eating or laughing or taking pictures. It seems that that's a way of life.
Mm.
And while most of them are um, visiting, they're not locals. When I stayed with the locals many times, and it's something about the way they look at life. And life is what you see. And
Absolutely.
the way you imagine your life is how your life is going to manifest. And I'm wondering, because I know you have a great vision, and I know you are organizing the International Me Time Day on the 22nd of July, and I know that a month prior to that, which is in about a month from now, we are going to launch a book, which is The Simple Truth About Me Time, Great Conversations with Adrian Marks. And people who don't have access to internet, or perhaps don't have the gadgets to listen to our radio shows, would like to read about, it's all there, so they could take it with them on their trips, and they could just use it during their me time. And you are all about creating moments in and excuses for me time. And I know you are planning now. You have this vision about me time retreats.
Yes.
Tell us more about.
About retreats.
Yes,
Um,
me
what
time
me
retreats.
time retreats. well, I know of somewhere where there are amazing water, literally waters, mud baths where people can go, and where I want to help people have some me time. So there will be a probably a weekend where there will be lots of good food, lots of good conversation. We will be able to sit in these warm waters and talk and laugh and maybe drink some wine and just have a really, really good time and learn how to listen to ourselves and what's good for ourselves and have the most ultimate me time experience, but sharing it with not just with ourselves, but with other people as well. People that we can bond with, people that we can care about, and people that we can have good relationships with. And I want to do this on a regular basis. And it's a very, very exciting thing for me because, as you know, I have literally just found out about this place. And it's a magical place. And I can't wait to organize it and get people coming along and learning not just about themselves, but you said it before, having these magic moments, because that's what it's about. That's what life is about. Just having these little moments where you're laughing, or you're getting lost in a street, or you're wandering around a city and you've no idea, you want lunch and you're going, let's walk around this corner, and oh my god, there is this perfect ristorante on a corner, absolutely perfect, out in the sunshine with lots of locals, and you say, this is the perfect place for me. I have to sit here and I have to eat now. And it's just magical, absolutely magical. And that's what life's about. And we have to take those moments. And as I say, if you can't travel, if you can't do that, then you have to say, I have to do something for myself, because you can't wake up one morning and say, my life is over and I've done nothing, because that is such a waste. It's such a waste. And there are so many magic moments. And the more magic that you find in your life, the more that you'll find in your life, if that makes sense. The more you'll see, the more your eyes will open, and the more you can share the magic with other people and show them how to find the magic for themselves. And that is so. Oh, that's all I want to do, is help people find that for themselves when they've had a tough life, when they've looked after other people and there's never been any me time. There's never been any time for themselves. I want to show them how they can do it, not just in magical places like Rome, but in their own homes, in their own relationships, and but more the most important relationship, which is the relationship with yourself. You have to do that for your own, I keep using the word, but I mean it, your own sanity. Life was not meant to be a treadmill. Life is not meant to be a struggle. Life is meant to be full of love and magic moments. And you don't want to wake up one morning and be 60 or 70 or 80 years old and go, oh my God, what happened to my life? It's so important. And that's why one of the reasons I'm finding these places where I can take people and take them for a weekend, and we can have such a good time together, such a good time, and bathe in these incredible waters, and just waters that have minerals and wonderful things for our bodies that can be good for us, and have good food and good wine, and good conversation, because that's what it's all about. There are so many times that I have put out there and said, that's what it's all about. Weekends, talking to friends, going walking along. Last weekend, Saturday, I was in Saturday and Sunday. Last weekend, I was in London. So Saturday, I was with a Spanish friend of mine, and we went out and we went for a very strange afternoon tea, and we went through Soho and saw lots of Spanish delicatessens, and I was trying to read the Spanish menus, and Sunday, and then we were down by the river, and then Sunday I was out in Trafalgar Square with a South African friend of mine, and we went down to the South Bank and had a beautiful dinner and conversation and wine, and that's what it's all about, just sharing your ideas and your life with people. That's what it's about. Just these magic moments.
And you know, when we first started talking about me time, and since then, it is official. Um, Me time is my time, and I can't wait for it. I
Yeah.
always build up the moment, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm like a kid in a store with candies. And you know,
Me too.
I was thinking, Adrian, that people spend lots of time, and I used to spend lots of time. I'm not talking about other people. I know our listeners could relate, but I was spending a lot of time worrying about things never happened and will never happen. You know, worrying
Yes.
about what could happen, and I don't know why was that tendency to not to be, because I'm very positive, and it was mainly because it was almost like a habit, like a bad habit. And I'm thinking now, thinking back, because for decades I done that, and then one day I changed everything, and and I think it's as if you are punishing yourself for what did not happen. You know?
I think what happens is as we grow up, when we're children, we have this openness that all we want to do is be friends. You know, we don't see race, religion, color. When we're kids, we play with everybody. It's only when we grow up that we end up with this stuff, this thing of idea, you can't talk to this person, or a child will have a best friend, and that best friend might upset you, and you'll say, I'm never talking to you again, and tomorrow you're best friends again. That's what children do. We're very, very open like that. But we grow up with all this stuff, and we grow up with parents, teachers, all sorts of people tell us to be frightened of things because the world is a scary place. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people, I definitely grew up like that. I had a mother who was very, very scared of everything. And so she passed that on to me. Um, and I think that's what happens with people. They get very, very scared of, if I do this, what will happen? And the question ought to be, if I don't do this, what will happen? But I've said this before, we have this thing called the comfort zone, and only good stuff happens outside the comfort zone. But it's very, very scary. We had parts of ourselves that don't want to move out of there, and that's the big thing. And that's one of the things I would like to do on my me time retreat, is help people not just physically but emotionally get over that hurdle, that what if I don't do this, rather than what if I do this. Because I think that's the people ask themselves the wrong question. If I do this, awful things will happen to me. Maybe the question should be, if I don't do this, what's my life going to be like? And I want to help people get out of their comfort zone. I want to give them me time, I want to give them joy, I want to give them magic. And I can do that physically and emotionally, so that they can go out and they can spread their word. They can share their light, because I believe that everybody's got light inside them. Everybody's got passion. Everybody's got something inside them that they want to give to people. And I really believe that I can actually help people be strong enough to share their word with people. It's like the ripples in a pond. You throw one pebble in, and the ripples get wider and wider and wider. And that's what I want to do, Marina, with my, with my me time, with my book, with my new book, Great Conversations, and especially with my retreat. Definitely, definitely, because that will combine physical and emotional awesomeness, magic. They're going to be incredible. They are going to be so wonderful. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be wonderful because the more people that can do it, the more people that are going to be able to go out and share their message with the world. And that's what it's all about for me.
Wow, Adrian, as always, I'm writing down a couple of ideas which are crossing my mind right now. You already inspire me so to such extent that it's
Wonderful.
always something coming out into a next conversation for the next show. So it's like taking the passion and putting out there, and then other people get it's contagious. So so I was thinking that
Fantastic.
about being your best friend. Most people are thinking, well, I can't be my friend. I have no friends. But guess what? In order to have friends, to be your own friend, you have to be a friend. So try to discover what is that is important to you, what matters, what
Exactly.
matters the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
And it's not complicated. I think there is this tendency. People think, oh, how I'm going to do this? When I'm going to find the time? I have to be a taxi driver for a couple of hours a day. I have to be a PA for a couple of hours a day. I have to be a maid for a couple of hours a day, and then for the rest of the day, I have to be a wife, or or a husband, or a parent, or an employee, or a business person. And the truth is that prioritizing starts from inside,
Mm,
from that moment when you quiet your mind and you decide what matters the most. Until
exactly.
next time, get in touch with Adrian, our Me Time host, who inspire us all the way from Rome.
La
And I
Bella
can't
Roma.
wait to see where are you taking us next. Both of us, until next time, have loads of me time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Arrivederci from Rome.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.